I have problems with my Marlin 70 HC clip feed autoloader. It has a problem and is not ejecting the empty shell casings. I've carefully cleaned it, replaced the action spring, and I'm using high velocity ammo. I still get about a 20% malfunction rate. I've tried new magazines as well. Is there a trick or tweak that can make my Marlin work? Well, the ejector on that gun, well, on most versions of that gun, it's basically a Marlin 99. Most versions of that gun, the ejector is a spring, a little wire spring sticks up. It could be that that spring is just barely ticking the case. That could be it. You bend it up so you get full purchase. In other words, you want the ejector to touch the bottom of the bolt and be as far to the center as you can as the bolt opens to get the most purchase on the rim. But I don't think that's it. It could be that the extractors are not holding the cartridge case up in the bolt face for the ejector to hit it. In other words, you open the bolt slowly and the cartridge case will fall off of the extractors. Move the extractors in so that it catches both of them. Both of them catch the rim and hold it. On some of the versions of the gun, the extractors have long tails. When you pull a bolt back, they are moved. The tails hit the side of the receiver and move out like that and drop the cartridge case. So check to see to it that it's holding the cartridge case up as you open the bolt. Another thing that you can check for, this is crazy, but it's true. On the Marlin 99, and this is basically a Marlin 99, the eject cycle and the bolt cycle are such that oftentimes the ejecting round will be hit by the closing bolt handle and kicked back into the ejection port. So shoot the gun and then look very carefully at the bolt handle for little teeny yellow flecks, little specks, just little teeny ones. That tells you that the cartridge case is being hit by the handle. The easiest cure for that is to cut the handle off, but it makes loading hard. So what you do, of course, is alter the bolt so it can move back about a 1/16 of an inch further. The bolt is tapered at the rear. Cut about a 1/16 of an inch off of that. That gives it more time to come all the way back and more time to come forward, more time for the ejecting case to get out of the way. And in some versions of the gun, you can make the ejector stick farther forward so that the eject cycle starts sooner. So you can do either or both of those to correct that problem, if indeed it's hitting the bolt handle. I suspect it's probably an extractor problem, but it could be the bolt handle problem. Now another one, help. I have a Charles Daly semi-auto field model with a broken bolt handle and locking block. Checked with Midway, E-Gun, Jack First, Brownells, can't find it. Can you please help? I know KBI closed the doors and it's tough to find, but if it was easy, I would not bother you. Thanks a lot, guys. Well, you better have a TIG welder. That's the easiest way. If you don't, wait, get a file and make a new one. Yeah, I love it. But in reality, it's the handle's a lot bigger than a Remington 1187 or 1100 bolt handle or operating handle. But you can, if you have a TIG welder, you can actually TIG weld the handle up with 4140 or oil hardening steel to make it wider, because it's wider than a Remington. But you can take a Remington bolt handle and weld up the part that fits in the bolt and then redo it, file it. I use the file until it fits correctly and put the detent in it so it'll hold it, and then reheat treat it. So you'd quench it in oil and draw it back to a blue, so it's like a spring. It's not going to snap off. That's the easy way to do it. And on these oddball guns that or parts are hard to get and you break an operating handle, it's amazing how often you can use a Remington handle, and they're cheap. Well, relatively cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore, but relatively cheap. And with that, I'm going to say good night. Good night.